we did Nat, we did Pat. You guys are responsible for number 9. Number 10, you can look at, I think, chapter 3's homework. We'll get that right. So, I'm going to concentrate on number 11, 12, and 13 tonight. All right. So, we need to create an access list on R1 using the following parameters. Okay, and we'll walk through a couple of these, not through everything. Don't want to spoon feed you too much. Right? But for number 11, your ACL is going to go on R1. For number 12, your ACL is going to go on R3. So, I'll open up R1. Going to global configuration mode. All right, so allow SMTP from the internet, or allow anybody to send us mail to our mail server. Now remember, you did NAT previously, right? So our mail server, our local IP is 192.168.50.25. This is kind of tricky. The public IP is 201.68.109.139. So, on R1, I don't care if you make it a numbered access list, I don't care if you make it a named access list, right? Whatever makes you happy. I'm going to go ahead and make a named access list. It needs to be an extended access list because we're talking about layer 4 protocols. We're looking that granular. I'm going to name it. I'm just going to name it. Typically how I like to name access list is give some sort of idea of which direction the traffic is running. So in this case, this is traffic that's coming into the network from the outside of the network. So how I keep it straight in my brain, again, I don't care how you name it. I name it, it's going to be outbound coming in, so out dash in. Okay. I go into access list configuration mode. Then I'm going to do my ACEs, my access control entries. So the first one is I'm going to allow SMTP to 201.68.109.139. So permit. What protocol does SMTP use? TCP, UDP, ICMP, GRE, what? TCP. Where's my traffic coming from? Where's my source? Anywhere, right? Any. My destination, is it a network or is it a single server? So what do I have to put first? Host. Then the IP address. Okay? So as traffic is coming in the interface, it's going to look at the public IP. This is because it's on a router. Some firewalls will do NAT first, so you would put the private IP in. Again, you have to understand the piece of equipment you're working on. But for this, from this perspective, the router does the ACL work first before NAT. So that's why we put the public IP, 201.68.109.139. And then we have to tell it what? What port we want to look at, right? EQ, which means equals. So what is the port number of SMTP? 25. Or you could cheat, you could type in SMTP, it'll take it. But either one will work fine. Okay? All right, now for the next one, I'm going to skip it because that's a little bit of stuff you got to do on your own. BlackBerry server, who uses BlackBerry anymore? Believe it or not, you'd be surprised. If you ever go work in government, especially federal government, that's all they use. That's it. That's all they use. Okay, because it has embedded device encryption on it, which is very powerful. Okay, so you need to know what services a BlackBerry server uses. Okay, take into consideration the latest and greatest. Okay, the latest and greatest. All right, so some of it might be really easy. Some of it may be like, what services that you use? I don't know. You have to do a little bit of research on that one. Okay, I'm looking for two specific ones. Okay, and for argument's sake, because I did get this 2 quarters ago. All right, trust that your BlackBerry server has the proper TLS certificates already applied. Okay, you don't have to do any certificate work. That BlackBerry server is already set up for you. But I'll do the third one because it's easy. Allow www and secure HTTP from the internet. So there's a couple different ways you could do this. You could make a service group, or you just do it individually. I'm going to do it individually. So I'm still in access controllers mode. Permit TCP any host 43, which is 140. 201.68.109.43 EQ80. Because I'm lazy, I'm not going to type all that over again. I'm going to hit the up arrow and replace 80 with what's HTTPS? 443. So now what do I have to do after I write the access list? What am I going to do? Exit out. Back to local configuration mode. What do I have to do to make the access list work?
Access group.
Yeah, but what? Where? I gotta do an access group command, right? Well, go back to your. So, based on how I wrote that, on R1, which interface would I put it on? Would I put it on the interface facing the switch, or would I put it on the interface facing the ISP router? Where's the traffic coming from? Source and destination, right? Where's your threat going to be? That's how I wrote the access list. Your sources are any, right? Your destination is on the inside of the network. Therefore, your threat is closest to the ISP router. So you should put it on the interface closest to the ISP router. So that would be, in my case, gig 00. So int g0/0 IP access group. Go by the name. I named mine out in. And then the direction that the traffic is coming. Is the traffic coming into the interface or leaving the interface? In or out, guys? Well, you hush. You've answered enough. Inbound, right? It's coming into the environment. There. And that's like a lot of your points. Show run real quick. Okay, that's where I applied my ACL. And that's what I have. You can see it changed it, which is fine. All right. So that kind of covers number 11. Number 12. So same thing except on R3, this will again be an extended access list. This is the tricky one. All right. You're going to write an access list on R3 per this information. You're going to allow the hosts on the workstation network to access AD services on 192.168.50.4. That's your AD controller, right? Your PDC, if you will. Okay? So, notice I said allow hosts and workstations to access AD services. What are AD services? Okay? So if users are there and they need to be authenticated on the Active Directory server, what do we got to use? A lot of ports. A lot of ports. 135, 139, 83 for Barrows. Assume file sharing, SMB, 445. Okay, and there's a few others. There's a couple others as well. I will be looking for all of those. I will be looking for all of those ports. You miss one, you'll miss a point. Miss a couple, you might still just miss a point. Okay, if you just put like 139 and 83, it's not going to cut it. Okay. You have NetBIOS, all those ports that you're looking to do. Okay? Now remember, authentication is two-way traffic. So what do we have to use if we're using two-way traffic for requests? What do we have to put on our ACL to make sure the traffic comes back? We talked about this. Established, right? Because it's stateful. You need to set this up for stateful inspection. This stuff is hard, guys. Right? There's a lot that you have to remember from a theory perspective. Okay? And I wish that when you go out in the field, you got directions like this. You don't. Hey, I need such and such to talk to such and such. Make it happen. What is that? And you have to dig into it. You have to ask more questions. Well, what services is it using? What protocol is it using? Is it a proprietary protocol? Is it written in-house? Well, what ports does it use? Okay, in order for you to set up security policy correctly. Because here's what happens a lot of times. Compliance will rule the day. You'll have an audit finding by an outside auditor. They'll want to come back to make sure that it works. They won't care what you've done on your device. All they're going to do is bring a device in to scan the network, and guess what? If they find that it's not up to par, you'll get fined. Or, well, you won't be fined. The organization that you work for will get fined. Unless you own the business, then you do get fined. Okay? So, this is complicated, folks. This isn't just stuff that you learn and you get spoon-fed all the time. You've got to be able to understand the theory and apply it. So, you're going to have fun with number 12 on your own. Okay? B, block workstation hosts from accessing 192.168.50.43 via SSH. Okay? That can go in the same ACL. Block all workstation hosts from being accessed via telnet. Ooh, hold on, time out. Read this question. Create and apply access control lists. There will be more than one ACL on R3. Remember, you can apply access lists, more than one access list, to an interface, right? Because you can have it coming inbound or going outbound. I'm looking for 2 ACLs on R3 for question number 12. Question number 12 is going to separate the A students from the B students.
and some of the B students from the C students. Okay? It will. That's why I don't really care if you turn this in tonight or this week or heck even next week. Okay? I want you to get it right. I want you to get it right. So spend some time on it. Alright? There is no penalty for turning Lab 2 in late. Are we straight on that? Clear? Don't stress out. Don't freak out. I don't want any red folder stuff coming my way from the university that I stressed out a student because of their homework assignment. Alright? I don't care if you turn this in the day of the final. Get it right. Okay? Please. Because when you do this and you do go through all the steps and you realize how complex this really is, it sets you up really, really, really well for interviews, especially security jobs. All right, last one, 13. 13 is fun because a lot of times this is not done. And it's so easy to do. Well, kind of easy. All right. Here's where we're going to take a protocol, OSPF, and this will work with RIP in a little bit different fashion. It will work with the IGRP, different types of commands, but same concept. All right. And we are going to encrypt. Actually, we're going to authenticate the connections between the routers. This will stave off a rogue router entering our network if they can guess our OSPF process ID. Okay. So, since I'm already on R1, this is done two places. It's done within OSPF and it's done on the interface. So, I'm going to go into OSPF first. And if you do this right, you'll break stuff, which is always fun. All right, so OSPF 25 or 100, I forget. 100. Router OSPF 100. Okay? And if you go under here, you will look and see area parameters. Area, I think it's authentication. Oh, area 0. Oh, hold on, now you're making me mad. Go after the interface first, you want to do the interface first? Virtual links and stuff. Well, I guess you can only do link authentication. Oh wait, no, there it is. Area 0 authentication. Blind. Area 0 authentication. Okay. And you'll notice that in the question, configure area-wide authentication for all OSPF area 0. Use an MD5 key of Cisco. Cisco is your password. All right, so in the router process, OSPF 100, router OSPF 100, you're going to use the command area 0 authentication message digest. All right, hit enter. That's going to break the connection to the other routers, or should. Okay, after I do the link and stuff. So then you go on the interface, which faces the area 0. In this case on R1, it's gigabit 01. Interface G01. Okay, and then the command is going to be IP OSPF Z. It broke.
IP OSPF, all right, authentication, message digest. Okay? And then you have to tell it its message digest key. IP OSPF authentication dash key and then Cisco. Alright? Now, it's not going to come back up because I got to do this to the other two routers. So, you didn't catch it the first time, don't worry, you'll catch it on R2. Global configuration mode. Router OSPF 100. Area 0. Authentication. Message digest. Go to your interface. In this case, for R0 is going to be G00. Int G0/0. IP OSPF. Authentication. Message digest. IP OSPF. Authentication. Key. Cisco. Okay. On R3, this time I'll do it backwards. Do the interface first. Int G00. IP OSPF. Authentication. I can spell authentication right. Message digest. IP OSPF. Authentication. Dash key. Cisco. It's kind of all over the place because it's packet tracer. You actually have to do all three of these steps in order for it to work. Okay? And then go into the router process. Router OSPF 100. Area 0. Authentication. Message digest. Okay, so in the end, you have two commands on the interface: IP OSPF authentication message digest, IP OSPF authentication key, Cisco. All right. And then under the router process, you have area 0 authentication message digest. Now, what am I missing in my configuration, guys? What's the cardinal rule I told you all to do? Why do I see my message digest key in plain text? What command am I missing? Secret. I gotta encrypt it, right? Service password encryption. So don't forget that one. That'll be 2 points per router if you miss it. Word of the wise. Service password dash encryption. Now, I don't know if Packet Tracer is going to do this or not. Hey, it did. Unfortunately, it only encrypts it as a level 7. You can decrypt easily, but hey, it's something. Do that on all your routers. Okay? Also do all the other hardening things. Lock out your aux port.
disable CDP, etc. And that's it for Lab 2. I gave you at least enough to get a C on this thing. That's pretty helpful. Over the course of the last 3 classes. Those of you guys who were here. Questions? Is this hard? It is? Huh? Tedious. Guess what? That's IT. IT is a house of cards. It all works till it don't.
Well, it's nice that we have to do it simple, right? It's hard to remember everything.
Repetition is the key. And you do